Welcome to my channel. Join me as I take on the challenge of unlocking the secrets to long-term success in 2024-25. Hi everyone, my name is Dave, and I'm an alcoholic. I've been sober for nearly 3 years now. It's been one of the most challenging yet rewarding experiences of my life. And today I want to talk about a journey of recovery, my own, and how we can all work towards unlocking the secrets to long-term success. Recovery is a path that many of us embark on. But let's be honest, the path is anything but straightforward. It's full of ups and downs, moments of clarity, and moments where you question everything. I have lived this roller coaster myself, and I know firsthand how hard it can be to stay on the path, to stay committed, and to keep moving forward when it feels like everything is pushing you back. For me, recovery wasn't just about quitting alcohol. It was about saving my life, my marriage, and my future. I started drinking at 17, and over the years, it escalated to the point where, by the time I was nearing retirement, I was consuming over 1 liter of whiskey a day. My life was spiraling out of control. 2 divorces, the pain of losing my son to cancer, and a growing sense of hopelessness. I'd reached rock bottom. But then I made a decision that changed everything. I picked up the phone and called Alcoholics Anonymous. That phone call led to my first meeting the very next day, and since then, I've never looked back. I attended 90 meetings in 90 days and ended up doing 362 meetings in 365 days. AA gave me the structure, support, and tools I needed to change my life, and today I'm on the verge of hitting 1,000 days of sobriety. It's hard to believe sometimes, but here I am. One of the biggest obstacles we face in recovery is self-doubt. I've had my fair share of that, wondering whether I could ever make it through, questioning whether I deserved a second chance. It's easy to feel like you're not strong enough, not capable enough, especially when you've let yourself and those around you down so many times before. For me, the moment I knew things had to change came after a terrible argument with my wife. The drinking had pushed us to the edge, and I knew if I didn't do something, I'd lose everything. That fear of losing my marriage was a wake-up call, a second chance I didn't want to waste. So I promised to get help, and thankfully, we're still together and happier than ever. Another challenge we often face is accountability. I've realized that without accountability, it's too easy to fall back into old habits. That's why AA worked so well for me. It held me accountable. I wasn't just doing this for myself. I was doing it for my family, for my future, for everyone who believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. Now, I want to touch on something that's been a bit of a personal struggle for me. My belief in God. You see, I've always had a problem believing in God and prayer. I've spent most of my life as an agnostic, doubting whether God existed or if prayer really made any difference. When I first came into AA and heard about the concept of a higher power, I was resistant. I had been brought up with the idea of God as someone up in the sky, watching over everything. But honestly, that just didn't resonate with me. I couldn't relate to that idea of God, and it made me question whether I could fully embrace the recovery program. But as I kept attending meetings and working through the steps, I realized that a higher power didn't have to mean God in the traditional sense. For me, it became something much more personal, a spiritual feeling, a deep sense of love, warmth, and peace inside me. It wasn't about some external figure watching over me, but about an inner sense of comfort and guidance that I could tap into. That's what I've come to believe is my higher power. It's that feeling I get when I'm at peace with myself, when I'm surrounded by love, or when I'm out in nature, appreciating the beauty around me. It's the warmth I feel when I connect with others in recovery, knowing we're all supporting one another on this difficult journey. That's my higher power, not some distant deity, but a sense of spirituality that lives within me, guiding me through the toughest days. This shift in perspective was a turning point for me. Once I let go of the need to believe in a traditional God and embraced this idea of a higher power as a spiritual force within me, I found it much easier to stay committed to my recovery. It became less about questioning whether God existed and more about finding that inner peace and strength I needed to keep going. That's something I think everyone can find in their own way, whatever form it takes. So how do we overcome these obstacles? First, we need to identify what triggers us. For me, a lot of it was emotional pain, grief, stress, and even boredom. But I learned to identify those moments and take control. Whether it's avoiding certain people or situations or finding healthier ways to cope, like taking up new hobbies or finding creative outlets. Photography and video became one of those outlets for me. There's something about looking through a lens and capturing the world that brings a sense of calm and focus. It's a reminder that there's beauty in every moment, even the hard ones. And that's the mindset I've taken into my recovery, appreciating every day for what it is, even if it's not perfect. Building a strong support system has been crucial. The community in AA has been my lifeline, and I can't stress enough how important it is to surround yourself with people who understand what you're going through. In those early days, I felt like I had nothing left, but the people in those rooms showed me that I wasn't alone. They gave me hope when I had none. Setting small, achievable goals has also made a difference. In those early days, just making it 24 hours without a drink felt like a mountain to climb. But I kept setting small goals. One day, one meeting, one step at a time, and eventually those small victories added up. Another thing that's been key to my recovery is staying open to trying new things. I had never have imagined that something as simple as making YouTube videos would become such a big part of my life. But here I am, sharing my story with all of you. It's given me a sense of purpose and connection that I never expected. Whether it's trying new hobbies like videoing, photography, gardening, or having lots of holidays, embracing change and stepping outside of your comfort zone can be a game changer. It's about finding what works for you and giving yourself permission to grow. And finally, one of the most important lessons I've learned is to be kind to myself. Recovery isn't about being perfect, it's about progress. I've had moments where I found it hard, where I questioned my worth, but I learned to forgive myself, pick myself up, and keep going. One of the things that really struck me was how much self-compassion matters. We beat ourselves up for our past mistakes, but we need to remember that recovery is a journey. It's not about where you started or how many times you've fallen. It's about getting back up and continuing the fight. So, as we look towards 2025, let's make it the year where we unlock the secrets to long-term recovery, not just for me, but for all of us. Whether you're just starting your journey or you've been on it for years, remember that recovery is possible. It takes commitment, it takes support, and it takes being willing to face your fears head-on. Let's set small, achievable goals, build our support systems, and be kind to ourselves along the way. And don't forget to try new things. You never know what might change your life, just like Aya changed mine. Thanks for watching, and please drop a comment below and let me know about your own recovery journey. What's worked for you? What's been your biggest challenge? I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tips and strategies as we tackle recovery together in 2024-25.